Greetings, everyone. This is Terry Naturally with another edition of Terry Talks Nutrition. We're here every Saturday and Sunday morning from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, and we are here for you because there are very few sources that are able to educate why we should be relying on diet, nutrition, supplements, and a good choice of lifestyle to improve our health. Nothing does better. There is no better medicine than the food we eat or the food we don't eat that would be the bad medicine. Our health is a matter of choices, our choices. Now, we may not have all come into this world exactly the same, but we can all change to a huge degree by adopting a good, healthy diet and other lifestyle choices that are productive for our health. And that's why we want to just share information with you on Terry Talks Nutrition that may influence you in your choices. 50%, almost 50% of all Americans, regardless of race, are obese. That means grossly overweight. The cause of heart disease, cancer, and death due to COVID-19. Those that are obese are more subjected to the serious side effects of viral infection. We can make our body stronger and healthier by adopting a better diet, by having a better night's sleep and a longer night's sleep, more refreshed. We should go to bed early and get 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Few adults ever get that quantity of sleep. Why do we smoke? Why do we drink alcohol excessively? Why do we change the way we adopt our healthy choices? So we're here just to share quality scientific information, evidence-based scientific studies that prove that health and the quality of our lives are based on our choices. So I'm here to share with you ideas, new concepts, something that may not ever have been heard before. So we want to give you that information. And today, as always, we have some very wonderful topics. Our featured topic is a mineral that you may never have heard of it. We'll explore this mineral and how it can change those that are afflicted with osteoporosis, bone damage. We also will talk about a very special form of vitamin B1. And does it make any difference where the fat is on your body? Where do you keep your fat? And if you want better health, sit down and pour another cup of coffee. And what about sleep medications? How they afflict the elderly. Sleep medications are dangerous. Maybe there's better ways of inducing sleep for a better night's sleep without side effects. And then maybe we should check our fitness level. I want to talk about 3 exercises that are effective and easy to do. And we need activity. 15 to 20 minutes every day. That's not a lot. We sit at computers. We sit at our job. We ride in our cars. We sit, take elevators, escalators. We have very little activity. And we only need to spend 15 to 20 minutes a day being active, which can make a huge difference. And then we'll talk about breast cancer, heart disease, and more. And all of this you can listen to on Terry Talks Nutrition, locally in the Green Bay, Wisconsin market. Or you can go to your computer and go to our website, terrytalksnutrition.com, and go to the radio show section and listen live anywhere around the world, just by changing your times wherever you are to be on the same time we are in the Central Standard Time of the USA. Or you can go to the radio show section and listen anytime you want. We archive, store our radio shows on our website so you can listen at your convenience whenever you want. Also, go there and listen to podcasts, YouTube. We are on all kinds of different educational platforms so you can get more information all the time. Education will change your health because the more you know that you can do in a healthy manner will definitely improve your health. Now we're going to be talking about a mineral that I'm sure that 99% of the people that are listening have never heard of. And it's a mineral that can change the life of many women, especially women. And here is a common problem for women today, based on information from the National Osteoporosis Foundation. And according to this foundation, 1 out of every 2 women over the age of 50, listen to this, 1 out of every 2 women over the age of 50 will break a bone. 50% of the women will break a bone because of osteoporosis. What causes osteoporosis? A woman's risk of breaking a hip is equal to her combined risk of breast, uterine, and ovarian cancer. Because estrogen, the hormone that plays such a major role in bone density, decreased estrogen levels after menopause significantly impacts bone health. A woman can lose up to 20% of her bone density in the first 5 to 7 years after menopause. 20%. And a 10% increase in bone mass can reduce the risk of fractures by 50%. So what can we do to reverse osteoporosis? And I know everyone believes, including our physicians, that calcium is a mineral that can reverse or strengthen our bones. But calcium alone does not assure strong bones. Countries with the lowest calcium intake often have the highest rates of bone health but they also walk more. That strengthens the bones. Exercise and proper posture strengthens the bones. Taking a calcium only calcium supplement was associated with a 30% increased risk of heart disease in a meta-analysis of 11 clinical trials on calcium supplementation. So by taking 11 trials and analyzing the results of those 11 trials to come up with one clinical outcome, shows that taking calcium by itself only was associated with a 30% increased risk of heart disease. A study in Sweden found that taking high dosages of calcium versus moderate levels of calcium did not reduce the risk of bone fracture. And if vitamin D, like dog, vitamin D levels were low, the risk of fractures increased despite taking calcium supplementations. So calcium is not the answer for bone health. There are two other minerals that have a greater impact on our bone density and the absorption of calcium than calcium itself. Countries around the world do not consume calcium supplements like we do today in America. They do not consume the levels of food such as dairy, which have the high level of calcium, yet they have a better bone density than the women in the USA. And calcium needs to be balanced by other nutrients for proper utilization. So you can't just rely on calcium. And I know I've seen this before. People have told me the doctor recommends 1,200 milligrams of calcium. And when they see no greater increase in bone density, they up the level to 1,800 milligrams. That's not the answer. We don't lose calcium in a very high rate. We probably only turn over about 200 milligrams of calcium per day. So what is the mineral or two minerals that I highly respect for greater bone density, greater bone health, and possibly the reversal of osteoporosis? Well, one mineral is called strontium. S like Sam, T like Tom, R like Robert, O, N like Nancy, T like Tom, IUM, strontium. And strontium is for advanced bone building. It's a mineral. 99% of the mineral, strontium, in the human body is found in the bones. It slows the breakdown of bone tissue and increases the formation of new bone. Now, the ideal dosage is 680 milligrams of strontium citrate. Strontium citrate is a combination of the mineral strontium and citric acid, which is increased absorption and maintains its stability. So taking 600 milligrams of strontium citrate daily and separately from calcium. Don't take calcium and strontium at the same time. They're not harmful when you take them together, but they use the same pathway in the body to be absorbed, and they will fight for that pathway and calcium prevents the strontium from being absorbed effectively. So separate them by at least a minimum of 2 hours. I think it's very effective when you take 680 milligrams of strontium citrate at breakfast, and then if you are taking calcium supplements, maybe for lunch and dinner. At least separate them a minimum of 2 hours. Otherwise, they'll be ineffective. So how else do we build strong bones? Plus advanced bone support. Well, first of all, strontium. In fact, it's used as a prescription drug in Europe. It is highly recommended by many physicians throughout Europe. It is a mineral, but because they claim the benefits of strontium, of reversing osteoporosis, that in itself, that claim, makes it a drug based by FDA regulations. But it's a mineral. It comes from the earth. And it's a trace mineral needed for the formation of new bone tissue. It slows the rate of breakdown of old bone tissue. So here's a protocol that I like to recommend. Take 680 milligrams of strontium citrate daily, away from when you take your calcium supplement, if you are taking a calcium supplement, because they compete for the pathway of absorption, and one will lose out. Then also add silica, S-I-L-I-C-A, silica. Silica is also a mineral that's extracted from the plant horsetail. And it increases calcium absorption and retention of calcium in the bones by over 50%. Take about 20 milligrams daily of silica from horsetail. So this is a wonderful program to maintain bone density throughout your life. And the earlier you start, the better. When you have strong, healthy bones, and you have good, dense bones, you don't want to lose your bone density and then try to recover it. That does not make sense. Unfortunately, when we are in good health, we don't have any complications, we don't have any loss of bone density. You know, it's rolling the dice. You never know what comes up, right? And we don't know what comes up later in life. So we are taking a risk and a chance that we will not suffer osteoporosis. But 50% of the women after the age of 50 will break a bone due to a lack of bone density. That's a really high risk, because that means 1 out of 2 women will break a bone, only due to the lack of bone density. And we can improve bone density with strontium and silica. So look for a good source of strontium citrate, and the clinically studied dosage is 680 milligrams daily. Preferably, I like to see at breakfast. Then use silica. We're not even mentioning calcium. I don't think you need to add calcium. We get plenty of calcium from the food that we are consuming. And silica comes from horsetail, and there's a very special form of silica that's bound to lipids, fats, that increases its absorption. And then silica increases calcium absorption and retention of calcium in the bones by up to 50%. 680 milligrams of strontium, 20 milligrams daily of silica. This is your bone-building protocol that will provide you with reducing the risk of osteoporosis and a fracture. So let's talk about one of my favorite herbs, which I take every day, and I'm convinced it makes me feel so much better, gives me more energy, and it is one of the oldest herbs consumed as a supplement, going back thousands of years, and that is red ginseng. Not white ginseng, red ginseng. The difference between the red ginseng and the white ginseng is just a matter of preparation. It is not a different species. White ginseng and red ginseng are the same species. Panax Meyer ginseng. That is the species name of both white and red. So where does the red come from versus the white ginseng? Well, they're all grown as white ginseng, and preferably 4 to 6 years if they are farmed. And in the wild, they might be up to 20 or 30 years if you find a really gold mine, in the sense that 20-year-old and 30-year-old ginseng are superior to the younger ginseng. Both red and white contain ginsenosides. These are compounds that are the key compounds of white or red. The white is dried, and in some cases peeled, and then either crushed or pulverized or ground up or sliced, and people consume the white ginseng in that manner. Some put it in alcohol, some make a syrup. There's all kinds of ways of buying and finding commercial white ginseng. Red ginseng is the white ginseng that has been cooked or steamed. There's benefits from the steaming process, and the steaming process improves the absorption and the level of the really wonderful, rare, noble ginsenosides. When ginseng is grown in the soil, and it's grown as a farming process, it's farmed for, or grows for 4 to 6 years. So in that time of 4 to 6 years, the farming community that's growing the ginseng want to make sure that they have a crop at the end of 6 years, because it's a tremendous amount of labor-intensive work. So they want to make sure they recover their ginseng after 6 years. And ginseng is highly susceptible to pests and fungus. So it's sprayed repeatedly every year for 6 years with pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides. There's a very rare form of red ginseng that is hydroponically grown in water, and it's fed nutrients. And at the end of just 1 year, not 6 years, but at the end of 1 year, that red ginseng is equal to a 20-year-old ginseng that is wild crafted. That means it's found in the wild. 20-year-old roots can sell for thousands of dollars. by those that revere ginseng. Hydroponically grown, it's grown without any pesticides, sprays, solvents, or chemicals. And because of the growing process, the gissenosides, there are two types of gissenosides, the classic and the rare noble. The classic are found in all forms of ginseng, but it has to be converted in the gut of the human to the rare noble gissenosides. That may not happen. Some people convert more than others. But in the red ginseng, known as HRG80, remember that HRG80, by the hydroponically grown, without chemicals or sprays, the classic gissenosides convert to the rare noble, which are far, far superior, that they are 7 times stronger and 17 times more absorbable. So you get more quality from the red ginseng, HRG80, for anti-aging and anti-fatigue effects. Has a huge impact. Now, we all want to live a better quality of life. I'm not saying anything about red ginseng giving you a lifespan of 120 years or 100 years or 90 years. But I can say that you'll have more energy, you'll feel more of a quality of sense of well-being, you'll feel more energetic, more alive, and I think you'll have a better quality of life. But I've got to take a break here. I'm going to come back here in just a few seconds, so don't go away, and I'll tell you more about why red ginseng might be a good thing for your health regimen right after this, right here on Terry Talks Nutrition. I'm Terry Naturally. And welcome back, my friends. This is Terry Naturally. This is Terry Talks Nutrition, the radio show to help deliver you good information, scientifically based, evidence-based, information that you can use to improve the quality of your life, the quality of your health, before you lose your health. The earlier in life that we make these positive changes, the more impact it's going to have on our aging years. When we get into our 80s or 90s and we are sick, painful, all kinds of conditions, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, yes, we can reverse that. Because all of these diseases are not truly diseases. Diseases are caused by bacteria and viruses and fungal infection. But these are metabolic disorders. Heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, obesity, are only the result of our lifestyle choices. Did you know you can reverse all those? You don't have to have type 2 diabetes. Change your life. Change what you are doing on a daily basis, and over time, you'll be able to regulate your blood sugar level. You'll be able to reduce your heart disease. You will lose weight. And it all starts with diet. And my diet, and I recommend it highly, the ketogenic diet, a low-carb diet. In studies of 10,000 people have shown that adopting a low-carbohydrate diet, like the ketogenic diet or the paleo diet, you'll reverse many of these diseases in a matter of months. Now, I call them diseases because I know that's what you think they are, but they really are not diseases. They are caused by what we are doing on a daily basis. The healthier we are, the less of these diseases that we may contract or cause a condition in our body. So we need to change our diet and adopt some of these wonderful plant extracts of the highest quality. That's one of the problems that we have. You may not buy the highest quality. You may not buy that which is supported by scientific studies. So we don't know what we buy is what is of the highest quality. Make sure you look for the highest quality. HRG 80 is the red ginseng that I like to recommend because of the studies, because of the research. There are 6 good quality studies on red ginseng. And one of them involves 73 postmenopausal women that were between the ages of 46 and 69 that took red ginseng, Korean red ginseng, or a placebo for 8 weeks. At the end of the 8-week period, the results of the study on 73 postmenopausal women, their fatigue decreased by 20% for the women taking red ginseng, with absolutely no change in the placebo group. And additionally, the red ginseng, the group of those taking the red ginseng, had close to a 10% improvement in antioxidant activity. That means the protection of your cells that would die off or be damaged, while the placebo group had a small decrease in their antioxidant levels. The researchers that conducted this study also measured the mitochondrial DNA markers as a measure of anti-aging. Yeah, we're all going to get older, but some of us get older slower and in a better quality of life. Some people look old at 60. Some people look young at 80. So they wanted to see if red ginseng could have an effect on improving the quality of life as we age. Yeah, we're all going to age. We're all going to die. But as long as we're here, it makes sense to me that I want to live a good quality of life. I don't want to end up in a nursing home. I don't want to be frail and fragile. I don't want to be having someone help me get out of a chair. I want to be vibrant, healthy, way in my late life. So when we say anti-aging, that means we're slowing down the aging process. That doesn't mean we're going to live forever. Maybe we won't even hit 90 or 95 or 100. Who knows? But it's the quality of life, not the quantity of life, that I believe is important. And the red ginseng group had a 35%, think about this, 35% improvement in the numbers showing the anti-aging effects. That doesn't mean longevity. That means how people function as they get older, how agile they are, how healthy they are, how strong they are. That means like when we're 90, we're not going to perform like a 20-year-old, obviously. But to maintain that health longer is really what anti-aging means. We are slowing the process of aging. In the placebo group, they only had a 6% improvement. That is a significant, substantial difference between 35% improvement in those taking the red ginseng. If you can improve your health, your life, your longevity, your quality by 35%, hey, I'm all in. I take 100 to 200 milligrams of red ginseng every day. HRG 80 is my favorite product for improving health. It's the oldest adaptogen in the world. Been around for thousands of years. It is sacred and revered in Asian countries like Korea, China, Japan. It is one of the most expensive herbs in the world. Some that really have a reverence for ginseng, and there are roots that have been found that are 20, 30 years old. They sell for thousands and thousands of dollars. But you're not spending thousands of dollars for HRG 80 ginseng. Relatively inexpensive. And for most people, they only need maybe 100 milligrams a day of this very safe, non-toxic, grown without any pesticides, herbicides, or fungicides. Very, very safe, very high quality of value. Now here's a very new nutrient that most people probably never have heard about. It's called benfotiamine. I'll spell that for you. B like in boy. E-N-F like Frank. O-T like Tom. I-A-M like Mary. I-N like Nancy. E. This is a very unique form of vitamin B1. Normally, vitamin B1 is referred to as thiamine. Thiamin. And mostly, I should say all vitamin B1, known as thiamine, is mostly water soluble. So when you consume your B vitamins, they only stay in your body for several hours, and they're washed out. But this new form of benfotiamine is unique. It's still vitamin B1, but it is no longer water soluble. It is fat soluble. So what does that mean? Well, fat soluble nutrients like vitamin A, like vitamin E, vitamin K, are all fat soluble. A, D, E, K. And that means they stay in the body for a more substantial amount of time. Fats are better absorbed. Fats stay in the body longer. They're not washed out with liquids. When you urinate, you're urinating a lot of the B vitamins because they're water soluble. That doesn't happen with fat soluble. And this new form of fat soluble B1 easily passes the intestinal wall and can enter directly into the bloodstream and the cell directly. And the maximum absorption over regular B1 is 5 times higher than any other forms of vitamin B1 known as thiamine. Now in Germany, they're sometimes way ahead of us in alternative nutrients, herbs, and additional medicines, natural. And there, benfotiamine is used in Germany in the treatment of nerve pain, sciatica. But it has many other clinical proven uses, scientifically based, evidence-based uses. So let me just cover a few of these areas where this very unique form of vitamin B1 can be useful. In Alzheimer's disease, this unique fat-soluble vitamin B1 was given for 18 months to a group of patients that was experiencing Alzheimer's disease. And it significantly improved the mental function of patients with mild or moderate Alzheimer's disease. In the case of heart disease, supplemental benfotiamine reduced by 50% the oxidative stress and restricted blood flow associated with smoking. Better blood flow. More effective blood flow carries more oxygen and more nutrients throughout the body and ultimately to the heart, and reduces the effects of smoking. In diabetes, benfotiamine prevented damage to the eyes, heart, and kidneys associated with diabetes, particularly in an animal model, and also diabetic nerve pain. If you have numbing and tingling of your fingers and toes, benfotiamine supplementation for 6 weeks significantly reversed and relieved diabetic neuropathy, nerve pain in patients with diabetes. A great combination. This combination is extremely valuable for healthy hands, feet, and your nervous system. So how do you take this form of vitamin B1? What's the best formulation, the best combination, the best way? Well, for prevention of heart disease and any other heart problems associated with diabetes, poor circulation, high blood pressure, benfotiamine combined with P5P, another very unique form of vitamin B6. P5P is the biologically active form of vitamin B6. Also 5 times more effective than regular vitamin B6. And then combine that with French grapeseed extract and pomegranate. This combination is extremely valuable for heart health and support of the function of the heart. Vitamin B1, fat-soluble form of vitamin B1, with a biologically active form of vitamin B6, with French grapeseed and pomegranate, magnesium. And then for nerve pain, especially burning feet, burning pain in the feet, tingling of the toes and fingers, hands going to sleep at night. It is not just the way you lie in bed. It's that your body is also out of balance. But this benfotiamine combined with alpha-lipoic acid and other B vitamins and minerals and an herb called boswellia actually reverses neuropathy. So if you have numbing and tingling of fingers and toes, burning feet, where to the point where your feet are numb, this combination can reverse the diabetic neuropathy and also regulate blood sugar levels. Now, where do you keep your fat? What do I mean by that? Well, where is your fat on your body? Body fat storage. where you store your fat. Is it all around your belly? And your legs are thin, your upper body is thin, but you have a big belly? You have belly fat? Or are you fat all over? Now, this is very important for you because you have so much control over your health, you don't realize that drugs are not nearly as effective. Your doctor is not nearly as effective as you are in terms of how effective you can be to change your health. It's not the doctor. Don't run to the doctor. Walk and think about it on your way to the doctor. Drugs may not be the answer. Oh, I'm not against drugs overall. I'm against drugs being used to treat conditions that are caused by our lifestyle choices. Now, just think about this. Being overweight or obese, and that means almost 50% of Americans, regardless of race, are obese. And being overweight or obese is the single most preventable cause of many cancers after smoking. They're almost tied. Now, if we would lose weight and get in shape, I don't mean running a marathon. I don't mean being a bodybuilder. I don't mean exercise. Just lose weight. And you can easily lose weight. It's rare that I have, maybe 1 out of 100, that I have recommended the ketogenic diet for health, for reversing most of your diseases, and losing weight, that did not lose weight. There may be some metabolic disorder with the thyroid or some other condition that caused them not to be able to lose weight. It's rare. Once you go on the ketogenic diet, you have to reverse it in time because you keep losing weight. It's amazing. And that in itself, if you stop smoking, if you are a smoker, and you lose weight, if you need to lose weight, and if you go on the ketogenic diet, you're going to lose weight. It's automatic. You don't even have to, if you eat the right food based on the ketogenic diet, you can eat as much food as you want. Of the approved foods based on the ketogenic diet. You don't have to walk away from the table hungry. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to look at small portions. You don't have to be depressed because you're not being able to eat. You have to lower your carbohydrates, sugar, and anything from bread, crackers, cookies, pies, pasta, all the grain, flour, produced foods. Eat plenty of good animal protein, good healthy fats, like olive oil, which is my preferred fat, butter, cream, eggs, lard, coconut oil, whatever you want of those. And in fact, I'm in the process of writing a book on my lifestyle and the lifestyle I think people should live to be healthy. It'll probably be out in the next 4 to 6 months. I think it is so easy that you don't need drugs on a daily basis. Yeah, if you're run over. Yeah, if you have a major injury. If you have some disease, a real disease, you may need some drugs. But 95% of the people that are on drugs today would not need to be on drugs today if they would change their lifestyle choices. Guaranteed. So here's what researchers did. They compared the data from over 43,000 people, looking at the BMI, the waist circumference, and the waist to hip ratio, and the predictors of risk of cancer. The results of this study, out of 43,000 people, excess fat around the middle of your body, belly fat, the beer belly, the pot belly, the bread belly. Remember how they fatten cattle and pigs for market? They feed them corn, grains, makes them fat. When they try feeding them protein and fat, they lost weight. And the excess fat around the middle can be as important as an indicator for cancer risk as overall BMI, even in people with normal body weight. An extra 4 inches of fat at the waist increased the risk of breast and pancreatic cancer by 13%. An extra 3 inches of fat on the hips increased colon cancer and bowel cancer by 15%. Why? Well, because excess fat alters the hormone levels in both men and women and increases inflammation, which can lead to cancer and cell formation. When you reduce the excess weight and you come down more close to a normal level of weight ratio for your body, you reduce a tremendous amount of risk for cancer and other diseases. And according to some other research, the best way to tell if you are at the right level of weight, which I like better than the BMI, just make sure your waist is half of what your height is. So if you're 6 feet tall, 72 inches, your waist should be 36. When I started on the ketogenic diet many years ago, I'm 5'7", and my waist was 36. I should have been 6 feet tall. Well, that's not going to happen. But I can make it happen that my waist is 30 to 32. And you have so much better energy levels. You don't have fatigue or exhaustion. You function better. You feel better. And you can still eat all the food you want of the food that you're allowed to eat on the ketogenic diet. Animal proteins, healthy fats, fruits, vegetables. Just keep your carbohydrates low. So we're going to be back again tomorrow, right here, on Terry Talks Nutrition. 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. You can catch us on our website, terrytalksnutrition.com, for a variety of reasons. Our podcast, scientific information, some ideas, a little things that I write, Did You Know? And a variety of topics on our website. You can also listen to the show anywhere around the world by going to terrytalksnutrition.com and click on the radio show section of our program. So that one, my friends, say a prayer for this crazy, crazy world. God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you for listening to Terry Talks Nutrition Weekly Show. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform, including Apple, Google, and iHeartRadio.